Well, hello, my friends. How is it going? Lady Leeanna here. After such a very long time, I thought I would come here on the YouTube channel and do a little bit of an update for you as to what's going on with me and maybe give you a bit of a lesson to do with connecting or reconnecting with your tarot cards should you feel disconnected. And sometimes we can get that way if we step away from doing our readings for clients or friends and what have you, and not do them for a while or do them a lot less. But we can tend to feel a little disconnected sometimes and feel like a deer caught with our eyes in the spotlight, whenever we do one. And I thought I would look at that. I've had a lot of my friends and old time subscribers and other social media people talking to me a lot about how I should come on here and do a video and start doing my channel once again. I don't know what the future holds with doing the channel. It does sound attractive to get back into it because I really did love connecting with you guys. And I've been away for, I think, over 6 years, I want to say. 5 or 6 years, something like that. Long enough. Since then, I battled cancer and I'm still winning over it. It's not supposed to be there and shouldn't have been there for over 7 years. I have been battling all the effects of the chemotherapy and radiation, which is a pain. It really deteriorates your bones, and I've had problems all throughout my body to do with bones and other things likewise. You know, um, and I've also gone through a separation. Me and my husband that I was with at the time I was doing the videos, Austin, you might remember him. Well, he appeared on my other channel, not this one. But we were together for 13 years and we called it quits a year ago. Um, I guess it just wasn't working anymore. But, we have to move past things. We have to be okay with transcendentiality. I guess you could call it that. And, it's hard to get there, but when you decide that you've got no choice, then you go. You start over. And this might be one of my big steps. I've taken all the gentle steps to get past that relationship. Now I'm taking, I guess, bigger ones to re-implement myself, to inject myself back into my life, my own likes, my own hopes and dreams, and all of that. After a breakup, you realize that you forgot what kind of music you like the most, and you listen to everything that they do, or what kind of movies you prefer to watch, and you start doing your own things when you break up. And I'm reconnecting with myself now. I've been doing my tarot card readings for clients for ages, and even throughout that relationship, even throughout the breakup, and since the breakup, I haven't quit that. But battling the effects of the chemotherapy and radiation now, that and actually the non-essential business shutdowns, because I'm considered a luxury business in the eyes of the government. I was closed down for a year there, and I was closed more than open for 8 years um, after my chemotherapy and radiation, 7 or 8 years. And I would do clients, long-term clients that were always there throughout those treatments and throughout the effects, but it lowers it to a handful of clients, more or less, and at certain times I couldn't read at all. My health wouldn't allow it. I couldn't feel like it. I couldn't sit in a chair. you know. So it was hard. But throughout the time of getting back and regrowing my business, and I've been doing that for a year, um, being put into a position where financially I couldn't handle things, and even being in bad placement, I was forced to get back into business whether I could handle it or not. And now I'm getting to where I'm having less of the effects of the chemo and radiation and enjoying doing my readings again, but they're fewer and far between. Upon re-emerging back into doing my readings again, though, I felt like that deer with my eyes caught in the spotlight when I would sit down and look at my cards and lay them out. It was scary. Like, the questions would arise in my mind and in my very soul. Have I completely lost connection with my cards? I don't know if I could do this. Do I remember what these cards mean? Each individual cards and all of that? And the answer is yes. You do remember. You do know how to do it. You know how to lay them out, read the spots that are in, and in connection one card to the other, you know? You do know all of this, and you don't really forget, especially after 37 years that I've been reading the cards. But, that goes to show, with all my experience stepping away for not even 2 months, I mean, I would do a client here and there over a month or 2 month period, even when I was at my worst, but those could be 2 months apart, and, it goes to show with my experience in reading cards that I could feel the same way as you do. Even if you've been only in the cards for a year and you step away for 3 months of it, or don't look at them and then you feel that you've forgotten as soon as you've learned them or whatever, you don't really forget. And my experience would show you that. It definitely shows me that about me and you. That is, that you don't forget the cards, their meaning, the places that they're laying in connection to each other, what they mean. It's all there. It's in your mind. It's in your heart and soul. It's a matter of relaxing. The most simplest answer here is that it's your fears kicking in. It's your feelings of extreme disconnection when it hasn't actually happened. It's what you're fearing more than anything. It's the hyper intensity of those fears within you that is causing you to blank out. It's like taking a test. Those of you that don't test well in school, education, or on resumes to get jobs, etc. Those that are testing and don't test well should know the feeling quite well. You'll know the information, but whenever you're put on the spot, then you just don't test well. You don't do too good, or your fears kick in and cause your anxieties to overplay you to a point where you won't do as well as you could, and so bringing that down, bringing that vibration down before you begin a reading, whether it's for a client or a friend or a family member, or for yourself if you're a person that reads for you, although I've always suggested that you guys not do that. Bring it down. Listen to a calm music before your client gets there, or before you start that reading. Do some breathing exercise and say, hey, to yourself, say, hey, I know this material. I know what it's about. I know what this is for. I can reach into an individual. Have faith in you. Because when you lose that faith out of fear or whatever, that's when you, I guess, blow it. I can't say that I've really blown it in my readings. And that's another example for you. Being disconnected for 2 months, having those anxieties and fears, and then sitting down with a client and getting those waves and thoughts of things crossing over me and making me afraid. And within such a short time that the client wouldn't even know that I was going through that. Then I kicked into gear. Okay, this is this, that is that. When the two are together, it means this. Who am I looking at? What is the energy around the individual, and what am I sensing from them? And then putting it all together and spelling it out, then it comes natural. It does. It's like breathing, eating, riding a bicycle, having sex. It's it's there. It's a matter of being okay with you and your information, and just bringing it down to a calm factor where you're not hyper and intensely afraid of what you're doing there. And I have found myself in that position, especially right after my chemo and radiation, right after my breakup and trying to kick back into gear on rebuilding my business. Even though I hadn't officially stopped doing my readings, I just wasn't doing many of them, comparatively. Um, it's the fears is what it boils down to. And when you've been doing this, even for a year, when you've studied it enough and you've found that you're doing well upon your readings on your pathway already, and then you pull away and then you get back into it, and you just bring it down, calm down, do breathing exercises before you're expected to do a reading or whatever, and then you go into doing it, you'll find that it's natural in you. It's definitely natural, and that's what you should think about. I really hope that this video is of a help to you. Basically, what it boils down to is being the spiritualist that you are to be whenever you're embarking on such a pathway as ours. Go into your breathing exercises, do meditational exercises, sing to yourself before you begin, but do whatever it takes to make you relax a little bit, and there are so many ways you can do that. I always find that one of my favorite things is listening to more gentle music and just sitting back and closing my eyes, maybe doing a few deep breaths and just releasing the day, or coming into the morning if I'm just waking up, just not letting things get to me, not letting myself be afraid of what I'm doing, and saying, hey, you know what, you're that person that knows what you're doing here. You've been doing it for this long. Why are you afraid of it? Show them cards that you are still connected and they're still an extension of you, not that they're there to intimidate you. And, looking at those cards, and especially after they're all laid around on the table, they can be intimidating. All the pretty pictures and what they mean, and, having this person sitting in front of you, say it's your fourth client of the day, or maybe your sixth or whatever, and you've already read through these many people, then all the situations with all of them are different, their energies are different or whatever. It can be intimidating, but in all reality, this stuff. You know how to read these cards, and you let the cards guide you because they're already projecting as an extension of you and that which rests inside of you. The cards are the tool, the gift is inside. And the more we remember that, the better we'll do, because, you know, it's not being good or bad at your tool anyway. It's looking down at the symbols and the associations that they have to the place that they rest in or with each other, and what they should be projecting, but that already comes from inside of you. And so you just need to relax. And if you can't breathe and you can't relax and bring that energy level down to a place to where you could say, Gusa. Adam Sandler movie. Um, if you can't bring that down, then you're not going to center enough to where you can do this. And if you've done it long enough, then it should be a natural thing. Hopefully this video has been of a help to you. I don't want to make it too long. I'm thinking about coming back and doing videos for you guys. I'm kind of really missing it. But I've also got to get comfortable with it again, because to tell you the truth, I'm a little offset from it. It's been so long. I think that it's doable, but I do find myself a little bit stammery or even repetitious in what I'm doing, because I'm a bit nervous, you know. At least I'm not that girl that was sitting there in front of you in 2013. That was the year, I believe. And doing my video over there in front of the cherry blossom dividers. I've still got those, by the way. And with my hands in my lap and, you know, trying to decide what I was going to do or say, because I've always ad-libbed. And that could be a little offsetting, even though it could be even more frustrating trying to go by scripts, because you're going to forget what you're supposed to say in those scripts, or repeat and not realize you've already covered this or that on the scripts or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing. There's you know, differences, but actually, in all reality, there's many ways you could screw up in making a video. In all reality, the best way you could do that is just be you, chill out. If you do stammer, or if you do repeat yourself or whatever, then that's all good. You know, because you're not here to be Keanu Reeves or Julia Roberts or whatever. You're here to be you and just share a message that you're feeling inclined to on that day, which is what I've done today. It's been on my mind the past 2 weeks to do the making of a video. And as I thought about it more, it had been on my mind for about 2 or 3 months to do with, you know, uncomfortability and jump starting your readings whenever you've been away from it or whatever, because I've done this and I've been through this several times, not just right after you know, my chemotherapy and radiation or my breakup or whatever, but throughout history. You could imagine 37 years of doing this, doing my readings and learning how to do the readings in the beginning or whatever. There were many times I backed away, did something different and whatnot, you know. But that should tell you, I mean, we can always jumpstart, get back to who we are, do what we know how to do best, or what we feel more inclined to. And for me, that is the tarot cards. That is my calling, helping people, being there. And if you don't have that mindset also, then you're just trying to be on stage or make money or whatever from people, and that's not really what all of this was supposed to be about in the beginning. And for me, that's what it's always been about, is being there for people who need my help. And that's also why I have 4 generations of clients that are still coming to me today. A grandmother, a daughter, a mother, a daughter, and she's bringing her child with her, And now he's 22, and I've seen him once in my readings, and I look forward to seeing him again in the future. You know, I've got 4 generations to my business and some lineage, although only 2 sets of 4 generations are coming here. I do have other, lineage properties there, but basically, I've got a good um, clientele base of people that care about me, but because they trust me, they know that I'm trying my best. And as long as we stay true to that, be humble and modest in all that we do, um, to a degree, modesty. I guess that's humble ability, really, in the way that I'm using it. So, whatever. But you get my point. The better you can stay at base and remember where you come from, remember why you started this, and stay true to your heart in association with that, then you can't go wrong. The cards are always going to guide you because your higher power around you is still with you, and your soul is still there, and your memories and emotions. And that's what you're relying on with this. And your tarot cards are your favorite tool. Let's say some people are watching this that might read runes or crystals or whatever, or palmistry. There's all of that, and I've got clients from so many different walks, um, or not clients, subscribers from so many different walks that watch this show. And so, I appreciate you guys staying on. And do you realize that with this channel, I have never really lost subscribers? Even though I've been away and haven't made a video in over 6 years, I've gained in subscribers because about the time that I quit making videos on this channel, I was at 9,800 subscribers. I believe that's the number. If not, it was really close. But now we're at 12,100 within what I consider our community here. And I love that. I love that you guys have stayed loyal and that you continue to watch my videos, or that even if some subscribers have dropped off, new ones are still coming and trying to join with us and still trying to communicate with me on the comments, although I had disabled them for a while because I couldn't handle getting them and didn't remember to uh, reinstitute the comment possibilities there. I have reinstalled those. So you guys can communicate with me on the comments again. I was just too sick and going through too much on my own plate to deal with that at the time. So I would love to hear from you guys. If you have anything to say, please comment to me and message me. I would love to hear from you. Take care of yourself and brightest blessings to you. Good luck on your pathway of enlightenment. Bye-bye.